Good morning, I'm Nigel Croft and welcome to TA for Traders, and it's Thursday the 2nd of March. In this short video I'm going to be looking at 5 UK stocks and looking at their technical picture. We'll be starting with BT, where we expect a consolidation. Moving on to CRDA, that's got a positive technical picture. ITV, which is close to an upside break and should be watched closely. COB, where we had bad figures earlier in the week. The shares have bounced. They're up to consolidation and we don't expect much more upside. And we're going to complete today with Legal & General that has a positive technical picture. So let's move straight into BT. Sorry, just hold a sec. Here we go. Right, BT. You can see that we had a gap which was created in January. We had a building phase and we've now had a break towards the upside. This is looking like it could be the end of that move to the upside. We've shown consolidation this week. We've now got a rolling pattern. It's up against the 50-day moving average, which is downtrending. Yes, the RSI is showing positive momentum and the MACD also showing positive momentum. But realistically, the upside above that 50-day at 342.87 is limited and consolidation should be expected. Looking at a longer term picture, you can see a longer term downtrend here, and really the fall that we had in January only took us from the upper boundary to towards the lower boundary of that downtrend. So the downtrend's still in place. We're mid-range in the downtrend. As I said, any upside is into resistance. Here it's got the 20-week moving average acting as resistance at 353.96. Looking at the supports resistances on BT, immediate resistance 336.3 and then 342.84. Moving on to CRDA. This is a positive picture on CRDA. We've had some very good moves this week and some very positive candlestick pictures. Very solid bodies here, which are seen as a good bullish sign. We came back before the rise this week. We came back last week to the 50-day moving average. That's given the support. It's given the trampoline effects. And bounced up. Really, you should be expecting the resistance into this 3700 level to be tested. RSI is positive, and we've just got a positive indicator also coming from the MACD. So all very positive on the daily. On the weekly, you can see that it was the 20-week here that gave the support and has now started to move up and has kicked the stock upwards, and you can see the resistance there, blue sky above there. Once the resistance is broken, expect that to happen. RSI positive and MACD positive as well. On the support resistance levels on CRDA, resistance at 36.44 and then at 37.21. As I said, above the 37.21 level, it is in blue sky, and further upside should be expected. ITV, very interesting picture here. The market moved up to the resistance back from September last year. Couldn't break the resistance. Has consolidated now for 3 months, and we're back up towards the upper boundary of that resistance. If this can be broken, you would expect a move of maybe half that level. So it would take us maybe up to 235, 240, but wait for the break. Is it coming? Well, the RSI is positive. That's at 55.03, and has actually broken its own downtrend, so it's back indicating positive momentum, and the MACD as well are rolling over. On a weekly picture, you can see that key resistance level, and then the consolidation that we've had, and you can see that the next resistance is over here at the the 240, 245 level. So that's key. I'll just show you the resistance levels for the immediate term, 214 and 216.9. If it came back, 199.53 and 197.51 would act as the support levels. But as I said, it's the daily picture, and just await a break above these resistance levels, and then it would look very good. COB, similar to BT, has had a recent break to the downside. In fact, it's had 3 breaks now. The first break coming last October, the second break in January this year, and then the break that we had in the middle of February. Usually, if you have 3 breaks to the downside, that completes the route, and then you get a base building phase, and then you can move forward. The base building phase should take time. What we've seen is this has been 2 weeks, and it's already filled a gap. That is a negative, unfortunately. It's too quick, and so that area now, back from the early February, January trade, becomes resistance. So the upside is limited from here. You've also got the downtrend in 20-day as a negative influence, even though we're above it, and you've got the downtrend in 50-day as well. Because of that resistance, I'm just tempted to ignore the RSI and the MACD for the moment. On the weekly picture, you can see this bounce into the resistance. There's only the one gap from October that actually shows on the weekly chart. Expect that resistance to hold, as I've said, and the upside is limited from here. On the support resistance levels to look at in COB, immediate resistance 127.8, and then at all the way up to 139.63, and then the supports on the downside 111.07 and 109.2. Moving on to our final stock today, Legal & General. Here we've got a positive picture. We're breaking the resistance from here, from early January, which is good. We're getting a golden cross, which is where we're getting the 20-day crossing the 50-day when they're both moving upwards, which is a positive signal. And actually, if you look at this picture, you could say it's a reverse head and shoulder. You've got the left shoulder here, the head, the right shoulder, and then you hopefully will get the break upwards. On the weekly, the head and shoulders just in here. We did, so you can see it there. It's not as clear in the weekly. Here on the weekly, you can see that we were in a downtrend through 2015-16. We've now broken that to the upside. Really, on a break, you would expect, which we're having, a move up towards the 275 level. Just quickly going back to the daily picture, you can see that the RSI is showing positive momentum, and the MACD as well are showing positive momentum. On the support resistance levels, resistance at 271, then 277, and supports 244.39 and 231. So that concludes this short video on 5 UK stocks and their technical pictures. Just to quickly run through again, BT, we expect a consolidation. COB, we expect a similar consolidation, as they both had gaps. They both fill the gaps, but too quickly and into resistance now. ITV, We're waiting for a break to the upside. If it occurs, expect a good move up to the 235, 240 level. And on CRDA and Legal & General, we are positive. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back on Monday when we'll have 3 videos covering the global indices. First video covering the US indices, a middle video covering the European indices, and then we'll conclude on Monday with a Asian indices video. Thank you for watching.